Trying to fix the camera. Goes, yo, Codeman Studio, what's going on, buddy? Sorry, guys. Let me just adjust the camera here for a second because I'm just trying to. There we go. You guys can see the whole of me here. What's going on, Codeman? Klein Guy, how the freak are you doing this evening? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing okay, guys. Amos Cardoso, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome to Sunday Funday Q&A, guys. My name is Jonathan, a.k.a. Klein Guy John. Welcome to the channel. Hope everybody's had a great weekend so far. And happy Easter to all you guys out there. Hope you're spending time well with your family. Oh, my gosh. I got to turn this around again, guys. Give me 1 second. There we go. Adjust that a little bit. So, what's going on, guys? Happy Easter to you too, William Logan. Stephen Lee is here. So we got William Logan, Stephen Lee, Conan Studios, and Amos Cardoso. Mike Bush, happy Easter. Happy Easter, Klein Guy. Happy Easter to you too, Mike Bush. Chase Leibowitz. Hey, Chase Leibowitz, I haven't seen you or heard from you in a while, buddy. What's going on? Happy Easter, everyone, says Chase Leibowitz. William Logan says, hey there, Stephen Lee. Everybody's saying, what's up? So, guys, I hope everybody is having a great Easter Sunday. You're spending time with your loved ones, family, relatives, friends, compatriots, co-workers, name it. And after today, guys, the work week begins. Meaning tomorrow's Monday, we start picking it up. Back to work. No excuses. Stephen Lee, cold and rainy. Wow. Really, Stephen? Chase Lebo says, yeah, I was busy for a while, but I made it to a few VCG streams, though. I won't blame him, but I've been catching up. You know, lately I've been catching up with VCG construction a lot, which is good because, you know, catching on with Vince's sales on the tools that are, you know, that are out, and they're doing like basically the emergency tool sales, the promos. He's even given us, you know, the videos of him and Nick going to Minnesota to check out Acme Tools, brick and mortar store, and showing us all the competitors out there, what's new with like DeWalt, Milwaukee, Metabo, HTP, and Hitachi, and you know, or AKA Hikoki, and it's amazing how he gets to do all those things, you know, and he takes the time to do them, and he informs us and he shows us, the community out there, what's coming out, what's going to help us out in the job site, and what is, you know, what's the new trend out there, you know, keeping us informed, keeping us well entertained as well. My guest just left an hour ago, and I'm stuffed, says William Logan. I bet you are, buddy. You pretty much had a good Easter dinner. Everybody has a good Easter dinner. Everybody's outside right now. The weather's good out here, by the way, in New York. Here in Staten Island, all across New York City and New York State. The weather's been really good to us this weekend. You know, all the kids are out playing. You know, everybody's outside, you know, having a few laughs, you know, having a good time, enjoying the weather. Mike Bush says, stuff from Easter dinner, always eat too much at holiday meals. All right, listen, guys, can anybody hear me? Can any of you guys hear me, see me okay? How's the stream looking? Let me know. I want to know in the comment sections, on the chats right now. Let me know, guys. In the meantime, I'm just going to take a look here. All right. All is good, John. Yo, thank you, William Logan. Hey, guys, if you haven't noticed or you don't know, William Logan is also the moderator to the chat here, as well as King of the Crease, Minorca Home Solutions, and, of course, who am I missing here? We also have, I think that's it. William Logan's the only moderator to the chat. That's fine with me. He's doing an awesome, good job, guys. Looks good, John. Games Cardoso says, John, good. Mike Bush says, looks and sounds good. Hey, thanks. Conrad Studios says, Amos, how you doing, brother? Audio and video loud and clear, says Stephen Lee. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate you guys letting me know the stream is looking good. So, Man, I just got back from Passover dinner. Was okay, says Chase Leibowitz. That's what's up, Chase. If you guys don't mind, I'm just send out a few things because I'm still trying to learn how to share the video and the links over to Twitter and such and Instagram. I don't know how Vince and them get to do that, but I'm going to try right now. Steve, what was that again? William Logan says no pulled pork, just BB back ribs, beef, brisket, and lamb. Yum. Conan Studio says, Klein guy, what were you saying? I don't pay attention to anybody. I'm too poor. Well, I was just saying about how Vince was able to go to, like to the Acme Tools brick and mortar store out in Minnesota, and basically sharing, showing us what he got to see over there, and got to share with us the information of like new tools, like Milwaukee's coming out with their new sockets, like the square wrench sockets, which I think are awesome. Then you got Metabo HTP's new nail guns and hammer drills, and you got DeWalt as well, and other name brand companies out there who are just promoting their product and giving us a tour and what it looks like in that store. It's just awesome. I hope that maybe one day I'm able to do that as well. Chris Conkle Vlogs is here. Hey, happy Easter, everyone. You too, Chris. Kevin's Electrical Tool Channel. Hey, Klein guys. William Logan. Chase Lewis says that William Logan sounds pretty good. We're having ham and brisket and stuff. Oh, man, that sounds great. That does sound great. You know what I'm going to have next, guys? I'm going to have some homemade meatballs I made just the night before. And I got some leftovers, and it's still good. Me and the missus are about to, she's going to warm some up, and I think she already warmed some up already for me. It's just waiting for me right now so I can munch on. So just give me a few seconds here, fellas. Q&A. Just going to send. How do I do this? On the Twitter. On the tweeter. Tweet. So send this out. So I'm really slow with notifications, guys. I'm sorry. I mean, I know you guys get the notifications either before I start or when I start, but Q&A. But I like to send the notifications over on Twitter and Instagram. So I'm going to send that over. Oh, the kids are playing around up there. So everybody's saying, what's up? Ooh, love the lamb, says Stephen Lee. Oh, man, I love lamb. Chris Conkle says, we are barbecue burgers and and cooking chili. Yeah, that sounds great, man. That sounds awesome. And you guys getting me hungry now. Don't get me hungry. Not right now. William Logan says the lamb came out awesome. Smoked it for 3 hours. Rested it, then seared it, carved it, and served it with a mint rim. Oh, that sounds great, man. Chris Conkle Vlogs. What are you sending me, bro? Chili is awesome, Chris. Message hell for review. My streams. Haha, kids never bomb my streams. LOL. No, but it's my neighbors. They have their kids always playing around. You can really hear them from up there. I don't know if you guys can hear them through the mic. I don't know how sensitive the mic is. I mean, I guess if that's loud enough. Once in a while, they'll bomb my videos and they'll go crazy out there. Nothing I can do about it. They're just my neighbors, and they're good neighbors. Well, like the tenants upstairs, I consider them as my neighbors. Klein guy, did you use stranded or solid wire when you're doing your pulling today? Oh, on the video that I posted, that was back on Thursday when I did that job. I used solid wire. It was actually the existing wire from the main panel, and I just basically pulled it through and brought it over. The only thing is it wasn't long enough, so if you watch the video again, I ran another 12-3 with neutral, and basically spliced it in the trough and closed it back up and made it long enough to make it to the 20 amp 2-pole 20 amp Siemens bolt-on breaker. So let's see here. I'm gonna send all notifications to everybody. I don't care. I don't care. Come on, lass. I got to do it. Okay, let me see. I wonder, it's funny. Like, yeah, I can only reach 32 people on Instagram to notify them. It's odd. It's very odd. Actually, let me get the copy link. If you guys use the copy link, I like to use the copy link. If only I can get on Instagram. Hold on. I think I can go back. Jill is awesome, Chris. Oh, man, you got to be kidding me. Chili. Client, okay. 12 gauge. Yes, it's 12 gauge wire. Use 12 gauge wire for a 20 amp, an L620R. Originally, they had a 40 amp 2-pole bolt-on breaker, and they were using, I believe they were using number 8 wire on the same exact outlet, which you don't necessarily need to use an 8 wire. It's a little overkill, but just if it's 20 amps, just use number 12. It's not gonna do anything to it. So yeah, that's pretty much what I used. So Amos, what did you end up cooking for Easter, mate? Chris Cocker Vlogs, client guy. We can set up a Discord call. I can help you, teach you some stuff. Yo, definitely, Chris. I'll definitely give you a call, bro. I know that call feature on Discord. I think I accidentally called you at one point, and I was like, wait a minute, like I just was trying to send them a message, not actually call you, but because I didn't really have time to like really chat. I was like editing some videos and stuff, and just today we're actually working out. I was actually working outside, working on some videos, 2 actually, which I'm gonna be privy to tell you guys about that. So, let's see here. Give me 1 second. So I did a tool review and a tool demonstration today. Some of you guys requested that after I used the Bauer at TTR to test the battery runtime or the runtime on the drill battery. So I did just that, but I'm not going to be. I can't tell you guys what exactly in detail what I did until you guys have to wait Tuesday. Which, by the way, speaking of Tuesday, I'm only able to get 1 vote for a tool. It seems as though the voting, for the next tool review Tuesday, it's not really working out. So what I will do is I'm just gonna randomly pick a tool. Haven't really got votes from you guys, and I can understand you guys are, most of you guys are busy. You guys are working. You guys don't have time, and sometimes I don't have time as well. It's just it is what it is. No, I just wanted to copy. I'm trying to copy the link. Did that, and okay, it did it for me. Nice. Send to everybody. So yeah, Chris, we're gonna definitely link up, buddy. I can share my screen with you on Discord too. Oh, that's pretty cool, bro. Yeah, definitely. Let's give that a shot. We'll definitely give it a shot. Whenever you want to do it. I mean, I'm gonna have to actually download Discord on my laptop. I think it'll be so much easier if I do it on my laptop than on my tablet. I have the Discord app on my tablet, which I post pictures and chat with you guys at some whenever I get a chance or have the time. But I think it's better if we do it. If I do it on my laptop, it'll be probably a much better stream. So yeah, bro, definitely. Let me know when you want to do it. We'll definitely do it. Even though time difference is like a little off. I don't know. It's up to you when you want to do, like during the day or, I know that I think like right now it should be like 3 or like 4 o'clock right now where you're at in Canada, and then right now it's like 7:20. You should be like 4:20 or something like that. Big time difference, which I can understand, but work it out. I can share my screen. Okay, Conan Man says, fine guy. Fine. Klein guy, I'm not allowed to splice when I was working. It was too short. How to run a new piece of wire. Well, here's the thing, Conan Man. Um, Definitely it is against code, or it's mostly not recommended to make any splices in an electrical panel. Now, with that said, if you want to extend the circuit to go to a panel, the best thing you do, either if it's residential or commercial, first thing, commercial, whenever you're running wire through conduit and you make it to the trough, but you don't have enough to get to the breaker into the panel. You can splice in a trough. A trough is basically a splice box. If you look at it, just large trough with a cover over it. You're looking at a horizontal splice box, literally. So you can splice, but always remember when you're splicing, make sure you label the circuit, because anybody can go in there later on after you, and then they don't know what it is. They don't know what the circuit's for. I tend to go on jobs where I go into a trough to find a circuit and nothing's labeled or inside the panel at all. So I do a little troubleshooting. I disconnect the wiring, I do continuity, or I trace out with a circuit breaker finder. It takes time to identify that circuit, whichever, depending on the situation. But always remember that your trough, those troughs or pull boxes, they're your splice box. You can make a splice in those boxes as long as it's not inside the panel. Now, for residential, what I like to do is I don't like to splice in a residential panel. It's always best that you add a small electrical box, like a 4/11/16 box, deep box, preferably, or if you have an 8-inch by 8-inch by 4-inch deep pull box, use it. Use it, because get it mounted next to the panel. Put a nipple through it, a chase nipple. Do what you got to do to make that splice connection and extend it back into the panel, because it's like I said, it's not recommended. And it's also against code here in New York City, especially. Inspectors don't like to see splices in panels because it can be a potential danger. Anybody can just put their hand in there and expose. If the wire is exposed and not in the wire connection, or wire is not tight enough, it could come loose and eventually touch any metallic surface within the panel and cause a short or fire, or anything like combustible, or whatever the case. You always want to, maybe if you want to run extended circuit, be sure you have somewhere, a location where you want to put a splice box or a pull box, a small pull box, and install it, running maybe in a nipple or a MC attached to the panel, and then extend it from there. It's always good to do that. It's always a good practice, and it's better to be safe than sorry. So I'm missing all you guys' chats here. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. Live chat. It's not on. Well, who did I miss right now? William Logan, Conan Man. Have you ever used a welding? Whoa, let me go back. Oh, what are you doing? I'm trying to see Conan Man cooking chili. Chili was awesome. Chris, kids never bomb videos. Okay, read that. Now to splice. I was working a short run to. Okay, I read that. William Logan's Amo Cardoza said that William Logan. Actually, I got lucky. Didn't have to. We went to her mom's for brunch. Sorry, I had to go for a sec. Yeah, no problem. No worries, Chase Leibowitz. You're good, buddy. I'm still here. Conrad says, why smoke not that stuff? But when I smoke meat, I used to use mesquite, charcoal, pieces of hickory. Oh, dude. Oh, man, that sounds so good right now. Barbecue sounds so good right now. Oh, man, I can't wait to go barbecuing. Codeman says, have you ever used welding cable when you're wiring? No, I do not use welding cable when wiring. I have no reason to use welding cable. To be honest. Jason. Hey, Jason Reynolds is here. What's up, Jason? What's going on, buddy? William Logan says that'll work at Conan Man Studio. I smoked the beef brisket for 10 hours on Friday at 225 to 250 over a pecan wood. It came out pretty good. Then reheated the slices for dinner today. Yo, man, you guys, you guys are throwing out all this good stuff, all this good food out here, and right at me. You're just making me even more hungry. Hold on a second. Why am I having trouble here not seeing the chats? Actually, let me do it this way because I'm more of a righty. I'm here just painting in the basement, almost done. We'll be done tomorrow, so I am listening. All right, Koyo, Chris Conco Vlogs. Keep painting, brother. Keep painting. Don't worry, I ain't going nowhere. They don't allow splices here. There you go. What do they allow? If they in Canada, wouldn't they allow to have you splice in a splice box and then continue it into the panel? Is that allowed? I want to know. I mean, normally here in New York City, that'll be the way to do it. Channel, sorry, I didn't see you come in. Cheers, says William Logan. Nice. Conan Matsuda says, Klein guy, why are you matching 420? Shame. 420, shame. Matching 420? What do you mean by that, buddy? I don't smoke weed, by the way, if you guys are wondering. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink alcohol. I never drank alcohol. It's just a choice. I don't like the smell of marijuana. To me, it's just a disgusting smell. And those of you guys, I know Chris Conco Vlogs smokes, and dude, it it's all you guys. I got nothing against you guys. I just don't like the smell of it. That's all. You matching the shame. All right, guys. Yeah, I heard him firearm up. I don't get that. I don't understand what you're trying to say, Conan Man. William Logan says, I'm not fond of Mesquite wood at Conan Man Studio. It's a bit too sharp of a flavor, but like oak, hickory, apple, cherry, and pecan. My favorite would be hickory, cherry wood, hickory, cherry wood, apple wood, and the rub that I like most actually is cowboy rub. I love cowboy rub. It's delicious. You can actually smell also the coffee in the cowboy rub. Jason Reynolds says, I'm doing good. I was working half the night. Then I'll see you there. Has the night after work winding down to actually get to sleep until around 4 a.m. Got us only a couple hours ago. Got up only a couple hours ago. Wow. Jason Reynolds, bro, that's wild, man. You can have one splice in a box in a what? One splice box in a reno. Oh, in a renovation. I got you, Chris. Got you, buddy. Yeah, I mean, you would think you can have it for future use in case an added circuit. There's no room in a panel, or anywhere to run the wire, and the only location you have is either from the top, and then you don't want to. I don't know. I mean, it all depends. Chris Gonzo, that's okay. I still like you, Klein guy. Lots of people don't like it. I can tell you, here in New York City, guys, it's very. Let me just get this straight on this point. Now, from what I was told was that in other states, now when it comes down to like OSHA and other states, they don't, or in some states outside from New York, you either have to renew your OSHA card every 4 years, or some states don't have to. It's just, it'll even tell you in the back of the OSHA card, once you received it, it doesn't expire. Now, with that said, in most states, depending on the accidental rate or the accidental and death rate on construction sites. By the numbers, they see, okay, certain states have more or more prone to construction accidents than others. They would, I believe, and this is my belief, and correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong at this, you guys can correct me on it. That OSHA would look at these numbers and say, okay, we need to tell this state or that state they need to have an OSHA card renewed every 4 years. In other words, like New York City, here in New York City, we have to renew our OSHA card every 4 years. Even though, if you look in the back of your OSHA card, or our OSHA card here, given by the Department of Labor, it'll say this card does not expire, but it's recommended by the city and by OSHA to tell us that we need to renew it every 4 years. Now here in New York, it used to be 10-hour or 30-hour. Now it's required, I believe next month, it's required that all construction site, all workers in construction sites have to have an OSHA 30 and no longer OSHA 10. OSHA 10 will not be acceptable. I don't know why. Either they're just pressing hard on guys they are pressing hard on people to be more cautious and or aware on the job site. And there's a lot of construction accidents that happen here in New York City because we do have incompetent construction workers. There are companies who are not insured, guys who, a company that doesn't get their guys to take their OSHA, and they don't know a thing about, some of them don't know anything about safety. They'll just do anything they want to do. And an accident happens, and then the company's liable, and the person gets injured or killed. It's why it's so strict here in New York now. They're trying to make it even, they're making it more aware that now all construction workers on construction sites, big or medium or small, must require an OSHA 30 and not an OSHA 10. I believe it's up until this May or June that we have until that timeline to have our OSHA 30. I'm still working on my OSHA 30. I'm taking a OSHA 30 class online on 360training.com. And if you guys are looking, you're with a company and you don't have time to take a course, you can go online at 360training.com. They have OSHA 10 and OSHA 30 classes. The OSHA 10 classes is $79.99. The OSHA 30, if I'm correct, is $169. I did pay that fee. You have to, and once you pay for that course, you have 6 months before that course expires. You can take it anytime during that 6 months. Take your time with it, or take time during the day. You could even do it on your phone. I do it on my phone, which is pretty cool. If your phone is able to show videos, replays, and ask questions, and able to, if you have the software for the app, it's not really an app, but if you go to the main website on your phone, you can actually do it on your phone. It's really simple. You just got to register, put in your true address, and after you finish and taking the course, you get 20 questions as a final exam. It's basic 20 questions. It's real simple. It's really easy. It's not too hard. They ask you easy questions, nothing to it. But the OSHA 30 is very long. It's very long. So guys, always remember that if you want to take an OSHA course, you don't want to be in a classroom, go and do it on your phone or go at home. If you got a computer, do it on your computer, do it online. It's real easy. I mean, it's not as it's probably not as fast, or it could be, depending on if you're the type of guy that likes to be on computers. You're a techie guy and you can go through it. If you're a good test taker and you're a person that has great memory and you're a good test taker, you can do it, then do it. By all means, get it done. We all want to be safe, but it's required that we all have it. So if you're looking to do, looking to get into, an OSHA program, go on 360training.com, take the course. You have 6 months before the course expires. What else? Once you complete the course, they will send you your DOL OSHA issued card within 6 weeks. 6 to 8 days. send it to you by mail, and you'll be good to go. Also, those of you who also work in like scaffolding, um, and your job site requires you to have a 4-hour scaffold certification, always, I rather, it's best you guys take a 4-hour scaffold class. I believe Ocean 360 Training does that as well. They do scaffolding course. They do what else do they do? They also have I believe a free electrical course too on OSHA I'm sorry, 360train.com. Last I was there, they had some free courses that they give away for free, and you can take like a electrical theory course, like 101, I think, all the way to 12, I think. And if you want to learn more about electrical, you can do that as well. It may be a little hard to find on the website. I don't know if it's still available, but check it out. So it's 360training.com. Anywho, let's go back to the chat. Who's asking what? I make my own rubs. Over-the-counter rubs rubs have way too much salt for my liking. Oh. Klein guy, there's no room in some panels. We don't even use butt splices inside a panel. When you get a chance, go to the company called Waltzing Waters. I wired some of their panels. So there was no room. What I'm saying is, what I was trying to tell you, Conan Man, which is thank you for the information, by the way. But what I was trying to say is, it's see if you don't have any room inside of a panel. The best thing I would just say, like, if you're, I don't know, let me put an example out there. Maybe like it's like a dishwasher, commercial dishwasher or something, or a commercial dryer for laundry, and you don't have room in the panel. Best thing to do is there's an option where you could run a main lug panel with that only fits a breaker, an individual breaker. I did this at a high-rise residential home, apartment in on West 85th Street, and the client needed a dryer installed, and it was a pre-war home, apartment building, and we didn't have drywall; it was just plaster and lath board. So we channeled through the walls. We made holes from the kitchen through his closet, where he had a trough riser going between floors, and we tapped off the main feed that goes into his panel. We tapped off from that trough, and I installed a distribution panel with a 2-pole 30 amp breaker, plug-in breaker, and I tapped in with some Polaris taps, ran it to the main lugs, and then installed the breaker, and basically ran number 10. We already had the 10-3 ran through, so all we had to do was just land in the box, land into the breaker, and he had power. We installed the outlet. I can try to show you if you want. If you're interested, you go on the Discord. I'll post it on the Discord what I mean, and you can see for yourself what I did, because there was basically no room in his electrical panel. It was an old electrical panel. There was no room. He didn't want an upgrade on the panel, so we kept everything the way it was, and we just added a small electrical panel with only one 30 amp breaker, and it only fits one 30 amp breaker. So I'll post that later on after this chat. Nice tree house you're building for your kids at the maintenance band. Whoa, maintenance band big a tree house? That's cool, man. William Logan says, I was in the middle of... Wait. I'm just skipping through everybody's chats. Hold on, let me go back on my phone here. I'm so sorry, guys. I just rambled. Klein guy, we used to use those stick on numbers when we got the brothers level markers. What's a wraparound? Then we use heat shrink wire markers too. That's pretty cool. We have that here as well. We do that. Well, we mostly do it on commercial commercial offices when we're doing a new service. We do that. We wire and we use heat shrinks and such. Yeah, it's so much. It makes it look more professional. Um, Jeff Cardy's here. Chris Congo Vlog says, "Don't forget my weed smoking is prescribed," and it replaced. Oh crud! I just missed it. Hold on. It replaced me taking 10 plus oxycodone 80s, oxycodone 80s a day, much better. Whoa. Client guy did all my connections with terminal blocks from my doors into the panel. Well, there's another option there. Good idea. Terminal blocks. You can do that. If you don't want to make splices, use terminal blocks. I do it for fire alarm, and sometimes I do it for, last time I did with line volts, it was 277 volts. We did a terminal block. We put it in a 41116 box. We ran the wires through because we didn't want to splice them. I can't remember why we didn't want to splice them. So we had some terminal blocks. Oh, because we actually didn't have any more wire nuts. So what we did, we used terminal blocks that we had, and we just basically made the connections through there, which is pretty cool. What did I miss here? Client guy, don't forget my weed. Okay, read that already. Opioids killed 72,000 people in the U.S. last year. You're right. You're right about that, Chris Conklux. I was on it for 4 years. Took me 2 years to kick. Whoa, dude. Yeah, I remember you saying that story on one of your live stream chats. I remember that. You were telling us how you got into you were addicted to them or something like that. And yeah, man, that must have been tough, bro. It must have been really tough. Google. I'm making my grandmother's lasagna recipe. Unfortunately, she died from carrot herpes 2 years ago. Carrot herpes? Carrot herpes? Is there really something called carrot herpes? Whoa. Strongest drugs I've ever taken was ibuprofen, Xanax, Tums, and aspirin. Not counting beer, though. Says William Logan. That's a good one, buddy. That's funny. Let's see, Cone Man. William Logan says, I was in the middle of watching that vid when Client Guy John came on at the maintenance man. Oh, were you really, bro? I'm sorry. Welding cable is one of the most flexible wires you can use. So when you're making your loops, find me a Baker's motor starters. You're going to have them a lot tighter. See, we're not allowed to use that in New York City. I believe, yeah, we're not. From what I heard, Inspector, one of our last company I was with, actually, before the company I'm working today, they did that because they were, I guess somebody had welder's cable, and they used it for to bring it from the meter socket to the main breaker on the panel. And the inspector came, he took a look at it, and he realized the wiring was way different. I don't know how he figured it out. It looked, I don't know, I guess at the time it looked similar, but it didn't. So he was like kind of pissed and was like, telling us you can't use that, blah blah blah. Can't remember what the argument was, but we know it was the welder's cable. That was crazy. I had no idea you weren't allowed to use that, but you learn something new. It's very strict here in New York City when doing electrical work. And it also depends on the inspector. Some guys have connections with inspectors and they can pass an inspection, and there can be violations, and that's why there's a lot of fires going on as well in in the Bronx area and Brooklyn and Queens and parts of Manhattan. They would say the electrical work was inspected, then there'll be a fire like a following month because a lug was loose and caused arcing and caused it was next to, they had some combustible material, and it arced and got to the combustible material and caused fire, and the wires heated up because of a couple of loose lugs or incorrect wiring, or the phasing of the wire was in reverse, and all that. They come across these things right after an accident, and I still see or hear that there are electricians who get very buddy buddy with the inspectors, and either they pay them all under the table to kind of like, oh, pass me on this because I really don't want to, like, go through the mess of not passing. And it's there's some corruption in that as well. I mean, I was a witness, actually, my first year as a president. I witnessed something like that go down. I can't say the person's name. I'm not gonna say who it was. I'm pretty sure he probably knows who he is, if he watches this or not. But I'm not gonna say anything because it could most likely tarnish the person's reputation. So it happened. I bear witness to it. I didn't know any better until I figured out later on that what he did was pretty much the wrong thing to do. So if you, I mean, I wish I learned this sooner rather than later. But if you do witness something like that, a lot of people will say, "Oh, well, don't get involved." I mean, you kind of are involved if you're working for the same company, and you see like your foreman or mechanic, basically paying off an inspector. You just can't, you're still involved because you're associated with the business, and you can, and then you're also associated with the work that's being done there. So you can be in some trouble. So always report it to, like, um, your boss or authorities like DOT or law enforcement, because by them doing that later on, people who are occupying the space or building can get seriously killed or injured or seriously killed, and you could be also part of that, and then you'll feel like shit. Luckily, though, that didn't happen in my case. But it turned out that, what was it? What really happened? I think we had like a short, or one of the fuses or something like that on the main disconnect blew up. And luckily, it didn't cause a fire. But we were sent back, and I was with another electrician at the time, and he was awesome. He found out, he saw like 3 or 4 violations himself and fixed it. And we brought the inspector back. It was a different inspector, and he passed. Thank goodness for that. But I should have said something, but I didn't. And the company I was with was very they weren't so keen on people of color and different race. So I kind of just kept my mouth shut and just kind of took in all the crap until I got let go. But it is what it is. A long time ago. It's like, what, 7, 8 years ago. Oh, I'm missing you guys' chats for a second. Baby, you got me my meatballs? Looks good. Give me 1 second. Good evening, Klein Guy John. Yo, Jason, good evening, buddy. Chris Conk Vlog says, safety is the single most important thing. The company doesn't care about you, but your family does. The company won't see you through your problems, but your family will. Yo, that is true. That is so true, Chris. Guys, if you haven't checked out Chris Conko Vlogs, it's got an awesome channel. Check it out. He talks about all the commercial. He does videos about tools like Hilti. He's a big Hilti fan, by the way. He does tool reviews. He does his live stream chats. I believe every Tuesday night, if I'm not mistaken. He's got some great advice. He's got some great construction tips. Check out his channel and let him know Klein Guy John sent you. Uh-oh, something happened in my screen here. It went sideways. There we go. Klein Guy, you ever use any Mitsubishi parts? I've used them in control panels. because they have a whole electric component range of parts. No, I haven't. But the closest to a Mitsubishi I ever worked on was air conditioning. I worked on commercial grade multi-circuit, or I think at the time they called it multi-city Mitsubishi, and it's basically like a multi-circuit system where it controls all different types of different branches of refrigeration lines, and controls like basically it monitors all the evaporator indoor blowers, and you know all the pressure, and I mean, it's a sophisticated system, really. I didn't quite understand it at first. I mean, I still don't understand how it works, really, because I'm more of like a basic, when it comes down to refrigeration, air conditioning, I'm more of like the basics, like, basic controls type, but now with the technology they're coming up with these days, like, that make it more sophisticated, it's really hard to keep up. Um, Honestly, I'm just more of like a guy. If it comes down to air conditioning, I'm more of a guy that's like, okay, compressor, contactor, um, run capacitor, or IC board, defrost control, and that's it. Low pressure, high pressure switch, easy to troubleshoot. Nowadays, you got these BMI systems, you got these whole circuitry panels where it's controlled by a computer, and if you got to troubleshoot it, the computer's supposed to tell you what's wrong, but sometimes you can fix it, and then it tells you something else is wrong, and you just don't understand. Like, it's just, I don't know. It's too much. I mean, I feel in the air conditioning business industry, they're putting a little too much of technology, and for all the old school HVAC guys, or guys like myself who understand how controls work, it's just better off you just keep things simple. Keep it simple. Mitsubishi is huge right now in the air conditioning line of work, as well as Daikin. Daikin is another manufacturer, another company brand that they're huge in New York City. Their air conditioning systems are like they're just awesome. Even though they're slightly sophisticated. I mean, I've installed a few actually. I installed like maybe like what was it, three of them, three or four, and no, it was actually four of them, and they were just simple to install, very simple to install, very easy. I mean, even though they have some technology in there, but it was still completely understandable. I feel they can, even though they have sophisticated technology when it comes to Dakin units commercial wise, but when it comes to residential, they make it so simple, so much easier to install, and so simple to understand. Um, let's see, Klein guy, I wire control panels in municipalities, commercial conveyor belt, automatic parking, garages, entertainment. You name what you need a panel for. I probably built one. Whoa, that's pretty cool, Conan, man. 40 years ago, took a Devor Darvonset for back pain. Liked them so much, I have never taken another opiate painkiller. Whoa, Jesus. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I think I skipped. I went back again. Chris Conklin Vlog says integrity in construction is only a marketing term. Whoa. Coleman says, Chris Conklin, congratulations. I have a whole bunch of painkillers, but I don't try to take them because I got 3 kids. Do stuff for only when I feel bad. Will take some. He has to be monetized to be able to do super chat at David Elkins. Yeah, I have to. And plus, I have to have 1,000 subscribers to get super chats. In order to take, like, either donations or you guys supporting me on, like, giving monies and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, guys, I mean, if I was to get super chat, would you guys really give me money? I mean, if I wanted to, I would probably do the same what VCG does, which I'd like to do something like that as well. Buy new tools, material, and test them out. My main goal as well is to just be just as big as well as all the other YouTube creators and who are also trying to make it big, and to be basically noticed by my favorite tool brand companies like Klein Tools, for instance. I love their tools. Their hand tools are amazing. If they're watching this, I'm letting you guys know I love your tools, and if you can send me a sample or a free, a tool that I can test before it's out in the market, I'm your guy. I would love to test any new product you guys are bringing out. I don't mind at all, and I can give you my feedback with, not a problem. Who else on this has taken monetized? Chris Kong Vlog says that's the problem. You can't say anything. You will be the rat. It's a no-win situation. There you go. That's Chris Kong Vlogs going back to the part where I said where I witnessed a payoff between a foreman and an inspector. It really sucks because, like, and like I said before, you're working on that site, and then when you see that happen and you don't say anything, and days go by where the building goes on fire, the company, they'll find out what the issue is, because usually you have the fire department, they have a fire marshal who checks and sees, and they have an expert team who will find out, pinpoint what the problem was. They will say, oh, it's an electrical issue. Who was the last contractor that worked there? So and so. Then you're the one who's like, damn, I was there, I worked there. I feel bad because I didn't say anything to prevent that from happening. But luckily, that wasn't the case for me. It was just a fuse and a main disconnect that popped because apparently they ran the wrong size wire. It overheated. The fuse popped along with the wires burning up, which could have caused a fire. But luckily, we went back. I went back with the other electrician. We ran new wire, and he found other violations that was caused by the foreman that I was working with. So luckily, we fixed them up, and we had an inspect, and we passed. So, Klein guy, you can use welding cable inside control panels as long as it is UL listed. You're okay. Well, maybe it wasn't UL listed at the time. Maybe that's what happened. I don't know. Can't remember. It was a long time ago. Jeff Cardi, Klein guy, you should never run at 14.2 to off a 20 amp breaker, correct? Yes. 14.2. You never run 14.2 on a 20 amp breaker. Run number 12. Number 12 is rated for 20 amps. 14 is rated for 15 amps. If it was up to me, if I was to wire my own home and I had separate circuits, like one for lights, one for outlets, I would run 14.2 for lights, 12.2 or 12.3 for outlets. You can do that. As long as, but in New York City, by code, New York City, we're not allowed to run Romex or 14 wire unless it's a low voltage, like, for instance, fire alarm or like a low voltage type garage door, or something that doesn't take too many amps. But here in New York City, we're not allowed to use Romex 14.2 in Romex or in BX, just number 12. But yes, you should never run 14.2 off a 20 amp breaker. It won't take it. It won't take it. You'll later have nuisance tripping and burnt out wire, depending on the load. At Klein Guy John, do you come across any Carrier commercial AC units? Wow. I'm looking back in my HVAC days. It was like maybe last time I came across a Carrier unit was 2 years ago. It was in Long Island, and all I did there was clean out a coil. They needed a good coil clean. That was about it. Nothing else. Everything else was working fine. Last time I ever did a troubleshoot was like 5 years before that. And I was working for a company out in Lower East Side with a very good journeyman. We did a few that summer, I think. It was cool. It was very cool. I can't remember what it was. It was a long time ago. But there are AC Carrier units, commercial units in New York City. There's a lot of them still out there. Thanks for the shout out, Klein guy. No problem, cuz. No problem, Chris Conkle. David Elkins, that would be great if you did, and then you could do testing for Klein Tools. I would love to test their new products. And like I said, if they're watching, Klein Tools, I'm your guy. I'm Klein Guy John. I like your product. I got a lot of Klein hand tools. I would love to run their impact wrench. I think it was 7/8 impact wrench. I know it's powered. Their power tool lineup is powered by DeWalt batteries, but I would love to try them out. Klein Guy, do come across. Oh no, I read that already. Sorry. Conan Man says, Klein Guy, do you know Mitsubishi also owns a tuna company? It is known as 3-Star Tuna. Really? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Chris Conker Vlog says, I've been fired 3 times in my career for refusing to do illegal practices. In the end, it's your name on the paper. Don't do it. You're exactly right. Guys, when it comes down, if you guys are out there who do electrical work or HVAC or any type of work, if your name is on that and is being inspected and you get a violation, your name is on it. You're going to get screwed. You get maybe a few chances, but if you don't get a chance at all, again, at it, you're screwed. You're at fault. William Lowe says, thanks, that Klein Guy, John. No problem, Willie. Abdul Gulam, view deleted message. Will you revert back to Islam? Abdul Gulam, did you just ask me that just now? Will you revert back to Islam? To offend you, buddy, but I'm not Islamic. I'm Puerto Rican, American. I got nothing against Islamic people. I have Islamic friends, and they're great people. And to be honest with you, I'm not really into too much religion, but if it's your thing, it's your thing. You believe what you want to believe. I have no problem with that. Jeff Carty says, good night, everybody. Battery's running low. Yo, good night, Jeff Carty. William Logan just timed Abdu for 300 seconds. Whoa. Well, you really wouldn't. There you go, Willie. Chris Convla says, that's a clever name, Klein Guy. Implies the brand and the trade. There you go. Good night, Jeff. Stephen Lee, true that, John. My fiance's just laughing. She's just laughing right now. It's just funny because I just read Abdu's message and I just gave him my opinion. I gave him my answer. It is what it is, But yeah. I'm gonna. Conrad Studio says, Klein Guy, you should learn how to program PLC. It's damn good money. Most of the, here's the thing, Conrad. I'm not. I'd like to learn it, but I don't run into it as often. I mean, actually, no. It's. Let me tell you the bad. It's not really my thing. I mean, I was taught that in school, but it was. I don't know. It was just. It wasn't for me. I'm more of like line voltage, some low voltage, but PLCs is not really my thing, or fiber optics. Maybe a little bit about fiber optics, but other than that, it's just it's just not my thing. But you do you, bro, or you do you, boo boo. You should learn. Okay, I read that already. Toll free zone, says Amos Cardoza. Congrats, John. You got a troll. Moving up. You know that, Chris. That's funny because I was just telling Vince from VCG Construction when I was down there for TTR, him and Brian, also known as King of the Crease. I was telling him, my first troll on my first live stream was this lady who was a born again Christian. And she came up and started blowing up my chat saying, oh, I was the person that was with her daughter and I did stuff to her. It was ridiculous. I think some of you remember that, my first live stream. And I was right in my kitchen at the time. And I think some of you who are, in this live stream now who remember, it happened. I think, I know Real Row was there. Or AKA Minorca Home Solutions. He was there. And who else was there? Renaissance Man was there. Oh, it was funny. I was like looking at it. I was like, "Wow, who is this lady? I don't even know who she is." So, yeah, they blocked her. We blocked her. It was funny. That was like my first troll on my first live stream. Crazy, right? Sorry, I have to go, guys. Yo, Chris, we'll talk later, buddy. Have a great evening and week ahead. Good night, all. Good night, there, David Elkins. Amos Carter, nice, David. Mike Bush said this is a fun executional channel. Bam, Abdul, he's trolling. And William Logan, well, now you have mods that have your back at Klein Guy John. Yo, I appreciate it, William Logan. You're awesome, bro. Yo, if you haven't noticed, William Logan is an awesome moderator to chat. Keep doing what you're doing, buddy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Coleman Studio. Oh man, I got this sting in my nose on these glasses. I'm gonna take off my glasses for a little bit. I'm getting like this little stinging sensation in my eye. Good night to all, and all good night. Logan, no poking people would lose Jinsu knives you have. Blind guy, that sound is so wrong. Why do you in my own bedroom in my own business? Blind guy, really? I'm called blind guy now. Coda man, I know you're using the chat, the voice text, but yeah, that's funny. I like when Coda man, when he's talking, he uses the voice command to chat, and it comes out so funny. I mean, I most of the time I get what he's saying, but it's just funny, bro. I'm sorry. I don't mean to upset you, but it's funny. But I understand what you're saying. Coneman Studio later, bro. Have a good night, Coneman Studio. Amos going to Kona. Sweet dreams. No worries, John, says William Logan. Smash the like button, says Amos. Listen, I don't want you guys to smash the like button. I want to punch that like button. Punch it. Yo, let me get some more. Let me get the meatballs there. I'm hungry. I'm hungry. Oh, you just took a bite out of it? She's just looking at me like, now you want to take the meatballs? That's so good. I'm making leftovers. Leftovers taste way better. Oh, man. Thanks, Amos, says William Logan. I feel like I left out a few people here on the chat. I'm trying to find it. I feel like I skipped a few questions. So I'm going to roll back. Oh, Jason left. Good evening, Klein Guy Jad and everybody. Oh, no, he's here. Oh, maintenance man. In our one apartment building, we have the old stab breakers. And I'll be honest, I don't like working on them, and it's direct feed. Yo, we have a bunch of those in the city. In the pre-war buildings, there's a lot of those stab breakers. I don't like working on them either, to be honest. But if I have to work and swap out to upgrade for a new panel, I take my time. Take your time. Because if you rush the job, I say if you rush a job, you're going to hurt yourself. If you take your time, you walk out alive. There you go. Who else did I miss here? That's some damn good meatballs. Oh my God, it tastes way better, right? After you just put in the fridge and warm up, it tastes way better than they did yesterday. My goodness. Will loves to love meatballs. Homemade, bro. Let me tell you, Vince. You give a shout out to Vince because he helped me out make these meatballs. If we go to Vince's channel, here's another cooking channel called Vincent Cornelia or Cooking with Vince. Check it out. Just type down Vincent Cornelia and you'll see his other channel. It's got a pretty good little cooking channel there. He helped me out a couple of recipes. Me and my lady tried out. And they were really good. What are stab breakers? Are calling it push to reset? Well, actually, there's two different kinds. There's the push to reset stabs, and then there's the regular stab breakers, where they're kind of like regular breakers, but very thin, and they're just like they have these blades and you just gotta push in, and then you gotta. But they're very hard to come off. I hate those breakers. I really do, and they're still out there. There's a lot of buildings, pre-war buildings, like World War I, World War II, that still use those stupid stab lock breakers. They call them stab lock. I believe that's the name brand, if I'm not mistaken. Wish we had smell-o-vision. Well, you ain't kidding, Amos. Leftovers rocks, says William Logan. Yep, I've already subbed to Vince. Ditto that, Amos. Gotcha. Thanks, Klein Guy John. Yo. Yeah, check out the video where he makes the fried meatballs. Oh, it's awesome. It's awesome. And they come out so good. And it's real simple. He makes really simple recipes out of them. The ingredients are very easy. In the broccoli rab recipe, we tried that. Me and the missus tried that. It was, oh man, it was delicious. It was so good. John, are you talking about the old push-matic breakers? No. I'm talking about, there's a name for them. There's stab breakers, but there's a name. I can't remember the name. Jeez, how did I forget? I see them most of the time. I don't remember. I have to see another one again. Better yet, you know what? Let me see if I can look it up. I might be able to find it. Stab. I think they're called Stab Lock with LOK. Stab Lock circuit breakers. Here we go. Let's see. Ah, yes. They're called American Federal Pacific. That's the name brand. That's the manufacturer name. American Federal Pacific. I see so many of them. And the thing about these breakers, they're so thin. And they're also called Federal Pacific Stab Locks. Those are the ones that are very hard to break. I can't see. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Don't worry about it. The little bell rings. It's fine. Yeah, so if you look up American Federal Pacific, you'll see the breakers. You'll see them. They still sell them refurbished because the Federal Pacific breaker panels still exist out there. And most clients, believe it or not, most of the clients that I go to, that I service to, they won't change the panel because they're so used to those panels. They like that panel. They like the name brand. But I tell them they have to upgrade because the wire needs to be upgraded. The panel needs to be upgraded by code. So if they don't want to upgrade, what I would do is I would upgrade some of the wiring as much as I can possible, replace the old with the new, leave the existing panel there, wire them to the breaker, and also ground, put a ground bar and run a ground to that panel. And it would be able to pass inspection that way. The only thing is these American Federal Pacific breakers, the stab locks, they don't sell them in supply houses anymore. They discontinue them, but they refurbish them if you can get them online, like on Amazon. They got FPE, Federal Pacific stab lock replacement, Eaton.com. They also Eaton refurbishes them. You won't see them in stores anymore. So, but they're very difficult to work, to sort of like pop them out, replace them, if you can actually sell them. They're pretty worth a lot of good money too. Are you talking about the old push-matic breaker? No. Yo, who is this guy? Listen, Abdul. I can understand, brother. But this is a channel. I mean, we don't talk about religion here. We talk about tools. We talk about stuff that we all relate to. I get, I respect your religion, bro, but this is something that is kind of some people here may not agree with what you're saying. So I don't want to cause problems on this channel. So I advise you to please don't let's keep that out of the chat for a little, for now. And just talk about tools and, trade experience and such. Willow says, I'm not a broccoli wrap fan. Too bitter for my taste. I had to cook it through a county club. Yo, William Logan, you don't have to. You can actually season broccoli wrap. You can put a little salt, a little bit of pepper. I mean, I did that. Vince even throws it out there and says, hey, you can do whatever you want with it. And, you can make it taste great. Amos Cardoza, beat it. No one wants to hear. Yeah, you see what I'm talking about, buddy? That's what I'm talking about. Because people here are not going to agree with what you say, and I don't want this to happen. I gave him 2 strikes. Gone now. Brandon, good evening, guys. At Klein Guy John. Yo, Brandon, what's up, buddy? What's going on? Oh, so guys, I made a purchase just like a couple of weeks back, and it hasn't come through yet. I was the Hilti hammer drill set. Now this hammer drill kind of looks like more like an impact driver, really. Can't wait for it to come in because I want to try it out. And I don't know, so I might even come in. I'm gonna talk to Vince and see maybe we can come in for a TTR in June to run a Hilti versus the Gen 3 Milwaukee. That'd be something else, right? I should warm it back up again. It's getting cold. That's still good. Happy Easter, Brandon. Food, says William Logan. Brandon says religion and politics don't belong on an electrical channel, Mr. Troll. It comes down to it, guys. I don't want to talk about that. Let's talk about tools. Let's talk about the trade. Let's talk about technology. What's the worst electrical hack you've come across? I had a tenant who ran 18 gauge extension cords from a service line to 2 wall sconces and a ceiling fan. Wow. The worst I saw was they used, what was it, like lamp cord. Somebody ran lamp cord from the meter all the way to the main breaker to a panel. And the funny thing is, it was heavy gauge wire, but it was like a commercial lamp cord type or whatever. And the installation was lamp cord insulation wire. They ran it for a sub panel. The main breaker from the basement up to the sub panel, it was all lamp cord wire. It was number 10. And there was only maybe 4 breakers in the panel on a 12-space breaker. 12-space panel. Ridiculous. We pulled the whole thing out and replaced it with number 6 because it was coming off a 60 amp breaker. Replaced the number 6 solid to feed the sub panel. Oh, what's going on here? Tenant service on the record. Nope, Brandon. Abdul, our friendly neighborhood troll, says Stephen Lee. Wow, that's impressive. That Mike Bush. Happy Easter, by the way. You know it. Sounds like what the day laborers do for new home construction. Yo, lawnmower's here? Lawnmower. What's up, lawnmower? I haven't seen you in a while, buddy. But anyways, guys, listen, guys, if you guys are, any of you guys are just coming in, if you're new to the channel, I want to say thank you for watching. Thanks for showing up in this Q&A chat hangout. I hope everybody had a great Easter. And by the way, if you're new, if you're a electrical apprentice looking for advice, looking for tips, tool tips of the trade, or just, any type of apprentice. And if you're the type that's looking for more information about OSHA, check out 360training.com. I mentioned it earlier in this chat. I'm going to say it before I leave. Check out 360training.com. They have training courses online and the tools you need for the industry to help you advance further up the ladder. So if you're in construction, check it out. Check out the website. If you need a 10-hour OSHA and if you need a 30-hour, the 10 hours $79.99, the 30 hours $169. And once you purchase these courses, you have 6 months to take this course before it expires. You could take the course anytime within the 7-hour time limit of each day. And what else am I going to say? Also, if you're the type that also looking for scaffolding, 4-hour scaffolding certification, you can also check out 360train.com. They do have hazmat certifications, OSHA, scaffolding. They even have fire, in some cases, certain fire guard courses, depending on the skill level or the trade. Also, guys, and if you like, oh man, those of you who are in the HVAC field, or if you're new in the HVAC trade, you're an apprentice or a helper who just came into the HVAC company, don't know anything about HVAC, and you're just learning just now, and you need study guides and such, go on over to mainstreamengineering.com. Mainstreamengineering.com is a website where you can also learn, take practice courses and study on refrigeration and air conditioning, as well as take free tests such as your 410A. If you're looking for your 410A certification, you can take it for free, as well as a preventive maintenance certification. You can also take that for free as many times as you want. You can also take an EPA test course if you're trying to further advance yourself in the HVAC field. They also provide EPA certification test and course, or a practice test as well. You can check that out. It's called mainstreamengineering.com. Once you pass the exam, I believe it's I took a 410A certification and a preventive maintenance test, and I think at the time they charged me $15 for the card, the certification card. If you pass it, you can download the certification and print it out. If you want the wallet card, I believe right now it's $19, if I'm not mistaken. So you guys can check that out. They also sell products, HVAC products like filter cleaners, coil cleaners, condensate, drain line cleaners as well, drain pan tablets. They also even sell PT charts, which stands for pressure temperature, and certain and other helpful tools on the site. So check those guys out. It's called mainstreamengineering.com. And of course, William Logan says, how long before you can become a master electrician at Klein Guy John? I'm gone 6 years now as an electrician. It's a long process. From what I'm hearing, you have to either be an apprenticeship course. At first, you have to have proof of an apprenticeship course in a union or apprenticeship classes, or in a trade school or vocational school. You have to have, I believe it's 5 years apprenticeship. What is it? 7 years in the field, and I think an additional 4 years as a journeyman, and then you can take the course. It's a lot. It's a big process, huge process of going to take the course. You have to take you have to do a background check. You have to pay fees for those background checks. You also have to pay a $850 fee just to apply to take the test. And I think there's other fees that you have to pay for. It's close to $1,000, from what I heard. So how long do I have? Let's see. I went to trade school. I went to two trade schools. I went to trade school for 8 months at Apex. I think it was 7 months actually, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 8 months. And I've been an apprentice for over 5 years. So right now I'm a mechanic, or I was a junior mechanic. Then they promoted me as a mechanic now. Um, so I still have a pretty long way to go. I have to have the experience in every aspect of electrical as well, because those exams are really hard. Another helpful site you guys can check out, and he also has his own channel on YouTube, Mike Holt, or Mike Holt Enterprises. Check out Mike Holt's channel at Mike Holt on YouTube. He has he talks about everything electrical: low voltage, line voltage, high voltage, fire alarm, name it. Check out his channel. He has a very good. He's got these very good live streams. Once in a while, he does these live streams. He goes over codes from like the NEC codes from 2008, 2011, 2014, and now currently he does the 2017 code. Depending on where you live and what state you live in, it'll depend on which code you have to go abide by. But also check in with your city code as well. But check out Mike Holt. Go on his website as well. He's got a lot of good information, a lot of good stuff. He also sells his own books. I have actually a couple of his books. They're really good, and it was worth the money. He also comes with books with DVDs, combo DVDs and textbooks, which are very helpful. They show pictures. He explains it in detail. He helps you. He takes it every step of the way when it comes down to electrical. He takes you step by step.
Hello.
It's really it's really good stuff that he has. But also keep in mind that when it comes down to NEC codes, it doesn't mean that it requires for all states. Most states still follow, like for New York, we still follow the 2011 code, which by now we should be getting into the 2014 code. But we're still following the 2011 code amendments, which we follow in New York City. And but you have to check with your city or state code as well to be more informed. But he has some great stuff. So check out Mike Holt, not Mike Volt, Mike Holt, Holt. So check him out. Really good. I met him in person actually. He's a really smart guy. He's very cool to talk to. Good man. He loves when people have questions. You can also go on his site and ask him any question you like, and he will actually respond back to you within a day or within 1 to 2 days. Awesome guy. Check him out. Good night, Amos. Yo, good night, Amos Cardoza. Have a great week, my friend. Says William Logan. Have a good night, Amos. What projects do you have planned this week at Klein Guy John? Well, personally, I have a project I'm trying to plan out for this summer. I have to put some money away for a little project I'm doing for some security cameras. I bought a whole security camera set, like an 8 camera set, but I'm only using like 2. I already got the monitor pretty much mounted in the wall right by in the kitchen, so that's ready to go. I have to provide power, tap into one of the outlets that's below it, and bring it up next to the unit. And it's going to be a bit of a project, but I got to get I have money. I put money away for the material. I'm going to be using some wire mold and weatherproof boxes for outside for the cameras. It's going to be fun. I'm going to try to get as much footage as possible. It's going to be basically an install video. I'm going to do an install video of it, so it's going to look pretty cool. I'm hoping when the summer comes around, I can get to it. But there is a job I was told about for in my company that I work for, we have a huge job on 42nd Street, but it hasn't started yet. We were there doing temp wiring. I wasn't there. I'm not sure what the job looks like. I haven't been there, but I was told that it's a pretty big job. It's a couple of buildings. We're doing all the wiring, all the electrical work there, new service, everything. And I'm kind of hoping that I can get involved in that, and maybe get a few pictures, a few some videos and stuff, to show you what we do, and that'll be interesting. My boss knows about this channel. Actually, he likes it. From what I'm hearing, he likes the channel. He thinks it's kind of cool that what I'm doing. Amazing. He hasn't really complained that I do videos like just the one you guys saw. He's heard of it. His son watches it once in a while as well. He likes it. He feels that it's also advertising the business, because I wear the Leader Electric shirt. It advertises business, and I'm basically getting service calls being requested by me because of my channel. So that's pretty cool. Now that Brandon mentioned it. Thank you for mentioning that. Then able to come up with that. I just remembered. That's kind of crazy. William Logan, I remember you talking about him before, and I thought you have said Mike Volt. Did you return the Bauer yet, John? Brandon, actually, no. I'm actually keeping the Bauer as an emergency tool. I like to keep tools like the Bauer. I mean, it's actually right over there. We were just doing some footage today, me and my brother. So you guys will get to see some footage of the Bauer. So yeah, just stay tuned. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, hit the bell notification, because I do videos. I do tool review Tuesdays, like tool reviews, tool demonstration, job site tag-alongs. I even do Q&A, Sunday fun day Q&A like we're doing right now, every Sunday at 7 p.m. And also I do another Q&A session. It's called Morning Service Calls. It's Monday and Thursday at 7:30. And I normally do it live in my work van, in the company van. So just before I start my 8 o'clock day. So anyways, guys, I got to get going. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my meatballs here. William Lowe says that is pretty cool. I can't get job that your boss likes your channel. Hey, it's free advertising and shows your expertise. There you go, buddy. It's actually bringing a lot more clients, dude. Now that you mentioned, that I mentioned that has been bringing in more clients, which is crazy. Maybe your boss will want to be in some of the videos now. I don't know. I've had a few ideas, but I haven't really came across with him on that as yet. But who knows? Maybe maybe who knows? It'll be worth a shot. But it's best that he probably approaches me about it, because if I approach him, I don't know what. I think it's best if I wait. Anyways, guys, I gotta get going. I gotta finish these meatballs. If I need an electrician at NY, I would hire you guys at Client Guy John. Thanks, Brandon. All right, guys. So be sure to subscribe. Smash the like button if you like this video, and if you like talking about the trade and your experiences, and hit the like button. Leave a comment section down below. If I haven't got to your question or answer any of your questions, you can leave it in the comment section down below. I'll answer it as much as to the best of my knowledge as I can. And as always, guys, be safe out there. Watch each other's backs. Make sure you're always wearing your personal protective equipment. And as always, guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you guys all on the next one. Later, everybody. Have a good night and happy Easter. Thank you, Stephen Lee. Welcome, buddy.